Good afternoon, pharmacy aficionados. Welcome back again this month to www.salessystem.com.au. My name's Glenn Guilfoyle and I head up the specialist pharmacy services group called The Next Level. And we produce these monthly short YouTube tidbits in support and in the name of the cause to which we have enlisted, and that is the assistance of those pharmacies that have chosen to reinvent their service model at the dispensary to a high engagement, high counsel, high solution conversation service model to rise above the negative forces impacting our industry at the moment and give the customer a richer and more satisfying visit experience, and in turn thereby enrich the relevance and profitability of the pharmacy in question. And so it is, we turn to this month's topic, which is really an extension of the topic I delved into last month, which is around the fundamentals of the sales conversation at the dispensary and their OTC counters. So last month I introduced a conversation model to underpin a wholly different type of conversation to be held at the health counters in the dispensary that will move the customer's expectation from the relatively narrow expectation that most customers will come into the dispensary for, to progressively expand that horizon to an expectation based on the delivery of a much fuller and integrated total health solution that relates to their perceived narrow need for coming into the pharmacy. Now, why is this relevant? Now, I don't profess to be an industry trends expert, and any expertise I gain is really from the pundits, from the plethora that's spoken at the many conferences and meetings within the industry, and also in written form across many of the journals and trade mags that are available in this industry. But I can read the tea leaves as good as anyone else, and the obvious message from the government via the system is that the balance is changing in terms of remuneration for the pharmacy from S4 medication dominance to a more balanced blend where remuneration for S3s and below and services is starting to take a higher importance in the balance and the mix. So with this swing in mind comes the imperative for every member of the dispensary team who is going to serve customers at either script in, script out, or OTC counters, or indeed on the floor in front of the counters, to this newer, more holistic, total health solution conversation. Fair to say, as I mentioned before, most health customers come into the dispensary with a relatively narrow perceived need. Why wouldn't we? They've been conditioned that way. I need to get another repeat. I need to go into the pharmacy to get something for this runny nose. I need to put in my new script that my doctor has just written for me. These are good examples. More and more, we believe that winning dispensary teams will develop the skills to progressively recalibrate and re-educate the customer on the value of a wider, more holistic conversation at the service counters. The opportunity is really in taking the customer on a journey. Segue back to last month and my introduction to the model that I called TAPES. TAPES is just a mnemonic really, where T stands for treat the condition, A stands for both alleviate the symptom and alleviate the side effects, P stands for prevent the condition, in brackets recurring, E enhance the primary med, and S support the customer's overall well-being in relation to the condition and medication in question. So imagine Imagine a conversation at any of the health customer serving counters that is 1. Proactively led by the serving team member. 2. Features skillful timing of questions asked, counsel provided, and solutions recommended. 3. Moves through a checklist of standardised total solution topics in a logical sequence, as depicted by model-like tapes. And in so doing provides the pharmacy the best chance of long-term customer retention, because their customers are in turn enjoying the benefits of having their narrow need horizon expanded and receiving a richer total solution to their narrow perceived need. Let me go a little bit more granular again. Imagine this conversation that is supported by the TAPES framework. There is an imaginary business rule that says that the first question asked by the serving team member is an open question. Can't be answered with a simple yes or no. Imagine then that you, as that serving team member, are permitted another 1 to 3 question or answers, with the primary purpose of establishing with the customer the primary fundamental condition that is being treated or being addressed. At that point, imagine that you give the customer some counsel in return for all the questions you've asked and information that you've derived. Think of this point, this pivot point in the conversation, like a bank account. So you have withdrawn or made withdrawals from your bank account by asking the customer to give you some information through this series of questions crafted in the way I have suggested. It's time now to put some money back in and top up the bank account by giving a pearl of wisdom, some counsel about the medication or the condition in question, maybe even a compliance check, maybe even an intervention. You're giving something in return. At that point in the conversation comes the next pivot point, which wheels you through your next series of questions in accordance with what the principles of TAPES is really there to offer and fulfill. Come back again next month and we'll take that journey through the TAPES series of questions beyond these opening sets of questions in this type of holistic conversation I'm advocating. I hope that you found some food for thought in what I've shared with you this month. Don't forget, we're only ever a phone call away should you wish to take the conversation to a one-to-one level. And I trust that this helps you take your high engagement, high counsel, high solution conversation skills to the next level. Bye for now.